Hello everyone and welcome back to My Opinion. It stumps on day one India 318 for 2. Let's get into the review of today's play. Starting off with the playing 11s, I'll discuss the West Indies 11 first since I've got a few more things to discuss about India's 11. For the West Indies, they made two changes. They brought Tevin Imlach in place of Brandon King. As you all expected, Anderson Phillip in place of Johan Lane. I've said before that Tevin Imlach is the reserve keeper in the squad. He's a top order batsman, but I think to liberate Shai Hope to bat number 4, what they could do is they could bring in a keeper batsman, either him or an Amir Jangu who isn't in the squad. They could play the keeper at 6 so Shai Hope can bat at 4. So by principle, what they have done is correct. From Brandon King's point of view, I thought they may not drop Brandon King because he scored a 75 against Australia. He scored 13 in the first innings in the previous match. Tagnarayan Chanderpaul didn't play against Australia and didn't score runs the previous match, so I thought maybe they could open with Brandon King. But by principle, bringing in the keeper batsman to liberate Shai Hope, I think, is a good decision. And also Anderson Phillip ahead of Johan Lane, we all expected. And now for India. More than what took place in this match, I'll be looking more so to what you can gain out of this for the future tours. I'd said Bumrah doesn't need to play this series, and I'd said I would have rested Bumrah and Siraj to play Prasidh Krishna if fit, and the second fast bowler could be Nitish Reddy. I don't know why Bumrah and Siraj have been included to play in this match. What is the gain out of it? Especially you've seen how things have transpired. I don't think there'll be any gain. And looking at the way the batting lineup has been structured, now India are 200. They were 251 for 2. So if you're forecasting things, if you want to give players an opportunity, as per what I would like to see, I've kept Nitish Kumar at number 5. But in this case, I would have sent him at 4 because Shubman Gill has already scored runs in England. KL Rahul has been scoring with Jaspreet Jaiswal, who will definitely score a double century tomorrow. Sai Sudarshan, I thought from the position he was at, he could have got on to get a century, but still 87 in a match where he had to score runs, I think, is a good effort. And then Vajinathan Sundar has been scoring runs in England. Dhruv Gill scored a century in the previous match. Jadeja, I don't think he needs to bat in this match because he's been scoring runs whenever he's walked out to bat. So the only player where you're thinking, what can he offer on a consistent basis, especially when you don't know whether Hardik Pandya will be part of the test setup, is Nitish Reddy. So 251 for 2. Now that you've sent out Shubman Gill, who's on 20 of 68 not out, I would have let Nitish Reddy score those runs and see if he can get a big score the next day. Because if Jaiswal and Shubman Gill bat to, let's say, 450 for 3, which could happen if they declare 550 or thereabouts, what can Nitish Kumar realistically do in that time? I don't think he can do much. So I don't understand including a more strengthed 11 when you know you're not going to lose this match and when the opportunity presents itself to boost a player's confidence and see what he can offer. You've not taken it. I don't understand that at all. And now on the West Indies, it's where the moment India won the toss and chose to bat, I thought it was going to be very difficult for the West Indies to compete, but they did their best in the first few overs. Jayden Seales once again bowled well with a new ball. Anderson Phillip was metronomic in terms of the way he hit his length. I think he only went for 9 runs in his first 5 overs. And for the first few overs, I thought they were disciplined. Unfortunately, the moment it got to 40 without loss in 14, from that point in time, the run rate didn't go below 3. When India gained control halfway through the first session, I thought especially going into the second session, you saw the body language from the West Indies players wasn't quite there. And that's why there were quite a few boundary balls. You're looking at the performance of this attack where the fast bowlers, after a while, they couldn't really be effective. But given the surface that India prepared, which is a traditional surface, good for batting in the first 3 days, then in the last 2 days would be helpful for the spinners. I don't think after the new ball, the fast bowlers had too much purchase. And secondly, the spinners, where I mentioned before, they are not bad bowlers, but against Indian players of how well they play spin, especially on these surfaces, Jamal Warrican went for, I think, 36 runs in his first 9 overs. Then he brought it back to 2 for 60 and 20. Roshan Chase went for runs. Kari Pierre wasn't as effective as he was in the previous match in terms of containing runs. But I won't say they bowled badly because, as I said, when you're bowling to plays with such a standard out on this kind of a surface, then you are going to go for runs at some point in time when you've not got an attack that's going to pick wickets. They're mostly going to contain the runs, and we saw that's what happened. So I think, especially in the second session, as I said, we saw the body language sort of go negative, and when Jaiswal was scoring as many runs as he was, it didn't feel as if the West Indies thought they were in the game. And so that I say tomorrow, what they should look to do is, if India, however many runs they're going to score, how do we slow their progress? Let's say we set a defensive field and ask the bowlers to bowl economically. Kind of Jaden Seals reduces the coin rate from 3.68 to, let's say, 3.3. Can Jamel work and continue to bowl through and over? Can Kari Priya reduces the coin rate to what it was in the previous match? If you start from there, I think the ambition before this match should have been, can we take it to 5 days? So in that case, have they lost much from India being 318 for 2 if that would be their aspiration? I don't think so. And that's what they've got to think. If they think that way, then it could improve their batting and it could improve the bowling from tomorrow. But let's see how this goes. I think India will only bat once in this match, more likely. I think if they bat, let's say, 1 3/4 days, combining today and tomorrow, and put West Indies in for at least, 20 overs or so, in the final 20 overs of tomorrow, then will West Indies score 250, 250 in both innings? I don't know. But I think if the West Indies go with a mindset that our aspiration is to take it until 5 days, we may see a more resolute performance from them. So let's see how this continues. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Be sure if you have friends. It is my opinion. Watch it.